on the other end are really friends or something. But that's not the case here, Grover. Grover, this is a friendly Sunday morning conversation. You can
That
pick
it
us up
is.
on AM 950 if you want to follow this online. If you want to follow it because you want to listen to your computer, because you don't have an old-fashioned radio in your house. I have a number of friends of mine, in fact, who are listening right now, I'm sure of it, who are listening now on their computers, and they've said, yeah, we don't really have a radio in our house. Isn't that interesting? They said, I have a radio, like a clock radio in my bedroom, but that's all I got.
Yeah.
I don't have a stereo with a receiver in it.
Yeah, a lot of the problem is.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can hear you, Grover.
okay.
Everybody can hear you. The millions and billions listening now can hear you.
I don't have a stereo really either, except for on the alarm clock. Actually, I shouldn't say we have a stereo, but it doesn't have like an antenna.
Yeah,
So
it
really, it's only good for playing CDs.
It doesn't really have one, right? This is true of a lot of people. So they like to listen online. Now, if you already know how this works, then you don't need me to tell you that you go to DougPagittRadio.com and you can find the links to the AM 950 station there. You can find the video podcast of this show. It's live streaming on Ustream. You can find the audio podcast, so if it doesn't work to your convenience to listen at between 10 and noon on Sunday mornings, you can listen other times. Or like a lot of people do, they want to listen more than once. They just say to themselves, you know what? I need a little more of that. I need a little taste. I need a little rerun. This is like the Seinfeld of radio programs for some people.
I like your attitude.
They, Hey, and if you want to follow it in print, the thoughts of this radio show host, you can do that over at DougPagitt.com. DougPagitt.com as opposed to the radio site, which is Doug Pagitt Radio. DougPagitt.com/books, and you'll find a list of books that I've written. So realized the other day, on air, online, and in print. How do you like them apples? Hey, we're going to be joined today, speaking of in print, we're going to be joined today by an author, Danielle Schroyer, hailing from Dallas, Texas. She's going to be joining us today. She is an author of a book called The Boundary Breaking God. I like Danielle a lot and can't wait to have her on the show. Thrilled with it. So she's going to be joining us today. And also going to be joined by Catherine Byers-Breet at the end of the second hour. She's going to be on here at 11:30. She does some fantastic work with people looking for job transition and in job changes and want to make some changing in their vocation in their lives. So you're going to be hearing from those two friends today. Now, Grover, I don't know how your weekend was, but my weekend, it was a little off, frankly. I mean, I know it's just Sunday morning, so a lot of people are like, my weekend is starting right now, like they're in the middle of it. But to me, it feels like, the weekend's over because I do this in the morning and then I work at a church in the evening. And so, this is a work day for me, Sunday. First day of the week. Let's get to work.
Funny. Hey, me too.
Yeah, yeah, the two of us. I mean, everybody else sitting around in their pajamas. Watching football. They didn't get up this morning and have to think about their work life. And we're glad. We are glad to be your conversation partners on these Sunday mornings where you don't have to get up and do the work. We're glad that we can just join right on in with you from our work life to your life of leisure. Glad to do it because Sunday mornings are not just for Bloody Marys anymore. Doug Pagitt Radio. Hey, but here's part of the reason why my weekend was a little bit off. My wife has been gone since Wednesday.
Uh-oh.
Now I know where she is, and she's planning to come back, and it has nothing to do with me this time. No, she's just away on a weekend. She makes a life book for each of our children. She's working on our oldest son, still living at home, Ruben, working on his life book. So she's putting that together. So it had me all thrown off. But what I was doing, I watched this TV show called Mad Men. It's an AMC cable TV show, and I'm watching it on Netflix. So I tried to watch it with Shelly. She didn't like it at all. Watched an episode, didn't like it. Watched part of another one, said, I can't stand this show. I don't even want you watching it while I'm in the house, was one of her statements.
That's rough.
Can you turn it off? I don't even want to hear it.
That's rough.
It's unbelievable is what it is, Grover. It's unbelievable. So when she was gone, I said, here's my chance. I'm going to make a run for it, right? So I ordered them up on Netflix, and I've been watching Mad Men for the last 3 days.
Watching Mad Men eating junk food, huh?
Let's keep the junk food quiet. But I don't cook. I refuse to cook for myself, right? So it's your options are quite limited when you just don't want to be a cooker. So anyway, I've been watching Mad Men, so it's really in my head, and I'm enjoying the show quite a bit. Middle of season two. Hey, but this was one of those kind of cloudy weekends, Grover. Here in Minnesota. I don't know the rest of you who are listening, online, listening all around the world. Those of you who are watching in the chat room, I know it. I know you've got a whole different thing going on in Colorado Springs and over in France and people in Germany that are listening in. But for us in Minnesota, it was a cloudy weekend. Cold, too. The wind was blowing yesterday. I own some rental property. In fact, I got a beautiful little 3-bedroom for rent down in Minneapolis. 3-bedroom, utilities included, fantastic place, remodeled kitchen. Give me a call about that if you want to.
Nice plug.
Yeah, go ahead and call into the show, 952-946-6205. I'd love to rent to a listener.
Nice.
That would be just top-notch. Terrific little place, $1,200 a month. Utilities included. But anyway, I was working down there with my son Chico yesterday, and man, the wind was blowing and everything. And then this morning we got up, and Chico made mention that the sun's shining today, and he said something funny. He said, the sun's always shining on Sunday mornings. Isn't that interesting? He sort of noticed it. Like, he's just kind of noticed that on Sunday mornings the sun shines all the time. And then with that great Pagitt wit, with that great Pagitt insight, with the great sort of Pagittian way of viewing the world, what does he say? Hey, maybe that's why they call it Sunday. Even the 16-year-olds got it, baby. That is fantastic. Hey, in coming weeks, we're going to have a number of guests here on the radio show. I already mentioned that Danielle Schroyer is going to be with us today. I think she's on the line now, but hang on a second, Danielle. Danielle's with us today, as is Catherine Byers-Breet at the end of the hour. Next week, a fellow named Robert Burton, who is a neurologist and has written a book called On Being Certain. It's a book on how it is that we end up structuring our life around believing in certainty of things that are in no possible way certain. So it's a whole book about the way that people believe, and I can't wait to talk to him. Robert Burton, I don't know him, but just have seen the book. December 6th, Kathleen Falsani wrote a book called The Dude Abides, The Gospel According to the Coen Brothers.
Nice.
Yeah, The Gospel According to the Coen Brothers.
The Big Lebowski.
So she's going to be on. So does she. December 13th, Brian McLaren is going to be a guest on the show talking about the Justice Project. On December 20th, John Shelby Spong, also known as the Bishop, is going to be on a book on eternal life. And on December 27th, Terry Hershey with The Power of Pause. So we got a number of friends coming on the show in the next couple of months. Wanted you all to be aware of that. And so you can mark it on your little calendars. If you want to be in conversation with any of those folks, you can give a call in and have them join in on the radio show. Hey, it is No Shave-vember. Did you know that, Grover? I didn't know this.
I did, and my favorite hockey team, the Wild, are all sporting the stashes to help
Is that
promote
right?
it.
Yeah. So they're doing this No Shave-vember. This is when men decide not to shave for the month of November.
Unfortunately, I can't participate, but it sounds like fun.
Oh, why can't you participate?
Just
Your legs get too
can't do
itchy?
it. That's it.
Thank you very much. Grover does not shave his legs. No, he's just baby-faced. I think you're baby-faced like me. I could not shave for November. Nobody would know. There'd be no point in it.
I can. It'd just be really hideous.
Yeah, just very
splotchy
hideous.
and not right.
I'm the same way. So it's No Shave-vember. So if you notice men who look unshaven, that very well could be what this is all about. Hey, mentioned to you that our friend Danielle Schroyer is going to be joining us. Danielle, do we have you on the line already?
Hello, Doug.
Hello, dear Danielle. Danielle is from Dallas, Texas, and texted me this morning and said, are we on at 10 a.m. Central Time? Of which Dallas, Texas, and Minneapolis, Minnesota are in the same time zone, Danielle.
Can you tell I was up late last night?
Yes, you were. And I know it can, you just don't know. And you know what happens with Minnesota? People that don't live in Minnesota, they don't know this. That Minnesota and Michigan are not the same places. So people often get confused between Minnesota and Michigan. They'll even say things like, oh, I've been to Minnesota. No, hang on a minute. That was Michigan. And they get confused on the time zones because they think that, because Michigan is in the Eastern time zone and they think that Minnesota is. But that's not the
Dan
case.
is from Michigan. Perhaps this is the problem.
Do you think that's why? Well,
no, I think it's because I was up late last night. But
it's interstate.
I'm sure glad I didn't miss you, though.
Oh, I'm so glad you didn't miss us. We're going to be back here after the break. That's going to come in just a minute here, and Danielle's going to be sharing with us about her book called The Boundary Breaking God. It's a great little book. Fantastic. You should buy it. In fact, during the break, you should go on Amazon. You should buy that book right now.
They can also order it from
so you know that you have a
Common Good Books.
Really?
They will get that for you.
Common Good Books, if you're here in the Twin Cities, head over to Common Good Books. That's Garrison Keeler's shop. Say, hey, Garrison, I need The Boundary Breaking God by Danielle Schroyer. They'll get it for you. They'll have it there. Maybe even ship it to your house or let you come on to the bookstore and start reading it right there. So they're going to do that. We're going to be back with Danielle Schroyer. She is a pastor of a church in Dallas, Texas, and the author of a terrific little book. We're going to be back with Danielle, chatting it up here on AM 950, Doug Pagitt Radio, religious radio that's not quite right.
The Dakota tradition of helping others is alive and well at the Shakopee Midwakanton Sioux community in Prior Lake, Minnesota, with charitable giving of more than $132 million over the last 11 years. In 2008, 15 Native American